the 2017 BMW M6 Coupe. If you truly want to indulge yourself with high performance and luxury and just pay a premium price for it, I think you're looking at the Grand Tour for you. I'm Jay, and welcome to this latest episode of Car Buzz Unboxing Reviews. And I want to thank Nilo BMW, which is part of the Nilo company, for letting Car Buzz come on down and film today. So the BMW M6 Coupe. So I've been wanting to do this unboxing review for quite a while now. I've already done an unboxing review of the BMW 6 Series Grand Coupe. That was a 640i. That was kind of like what they call a four-door coupe, but this is a true two-door coupe. The M6, BMW's M High Performance Division. This is the car that a lot of people lust after. It is essentially the coupe two-door version of the BMW 5 Series or the M5. They're all built on the same rear-wheel drive platform. The 5 Series, the 6 Series, but sometimes the 5 Series sedan it doesn't have quite the exterior design sex appeal that this car has, or even the M6 Grand Coupe. And in my opinion, the 6 Series Grand Coupe as well as the M6 Grand Coupe is the most beautiful sedan or four-door vehicle that BMW makes right now. But let's talk more about this, the M6 Coupe here. Now, this is what they kind of call a Grand Tour GT car. It's all about driving in style and absolute comfort here. And it's kind of hard to classify this too, because is it a Porsche 911 competitor? Not really here. But then again, its performance numbers are very, very impressive. And the moment you step inside here, I mean, you can tell this is BMW M at its absolute finest here. But again, it's also a luxury car. This is what they call the Secure Orange with a black full merino leather interior. It costs an extra $3,500. You get a carbon fiber selector gear level for an extra $315. Soft close automatic doors. All this just wonderful standard and very expensive optional features. But check that out. That is all carbon fiber trim, real carbon fiber. There's nothing fake here to speak of whatsoever. You see all this leather trim throughout as well. And look at just how well bolstered and padded these seats are. You can even tell with that M emblem stamped right into them too. My recent unboxing review of the iconic BMW M3, I believe there was a total count of 67 M badges throughout that car, and no one's done an actual count of M badges in the M6, but I promise you there are something kind of close to 50 or 60 of those throughout, whether it's the engine cover or just stamped throughout here. Okay, the rear seat. I'll get to more of this in a few minutes, but it's not quite as useless as the rear seat in the Porsche 911, but it's almost useless here, especially for adults. I don't even think a large dog will be very comfortable back there. Oh, wow, just take a look at all that carbon fiber trim, just even on the door. It's just, everything here is a work of art. You have the optional Bang & Olufsen stereo system here. You can see that. I mean, I couldn't find one cheap plastic component anywhere in the cockpit here. None whatsoever. And when I get to pricing, you shouldn't be getting anything cheap here. This is a very, very expensive car. Little hint, 6 figures. I'll get to that more in a few more minutes. Now, what I love about all these BMW dashboards here is that they're just so driver focused. They're angled slightly towards the driver. It's a BMW design trait that goes back many, many years. But now the M6, just to give you a little history of it, it first hit the market way back, believe it or not, in 1983. That was the first generation model. It was codenamed the E24, and it lasted until 1989. It's a very famous car. The second generation, believe it or not, didn't arrive until 2006. But a lot of people love that M6 coupe, and that was the first time a convertible version was offered because it had a naturally aspirated V10. And this is the third generation model that hit the market for 2012, and it was just refreshed in 2015. So what you see has not changed in the last couple of years. As you can tell, this is iDrive version 5.0. It's on this 10.2-inch high-resolution screen. Features that touchpad controller there, 8 programmable memory buttons, voice command system, and advanced real-time traffic information as well, plus BMW's connected app compatibility. And I've mentioned this before, iDrive, it's a very, very good system. It's been perfected ever since it first hit the market for 2001 or 2002. And once you figure iDrive out, it's extremely easy. It's no longer confusing, and everything is just very, very logical. Now, this particular M6, of course, because it's a BMW, anything that's a luxury German vehicle, it's going to have extra option packages that are quite expensive. For example, this one has the executive package for an extra $5,100. What do you get with that? Heated steering wheel, power rear sunshade, front ventilated seats, active front seats, a Head-Up display, that Bang & Olufsen sound system I told you about. A Harman Kardon system is actually standard. And here you see the standard fare automatic dual zone climate control. You don't need tri-zone here because, well, like I mentioned, the rear seat is kind of useless. If you love the M6 Coupe, the styling, but you want a bigger an actual usable rear seat, go for the M6 Gran Coupe. Again, it's beautiful. Check out my unboxing review of the 640i 6 Series Gran Coupe just to get an idea there. Now, some basic connectivity you get standard here is a wireless charging, Wi-Fi hotspot, Sirius XM radio. Now, one thing I didn't like, and I don't get this, is that Apple CarPlay compatibility, it costs an extra $300 here. That should be standard. It's coming standard in so many cars. For example, Kias, Chevrolets. Yet on the BMW M6, you have to pay $300 for it. I don't like that. But even on the center console here, it's just quality. The way everything opens, the way this the center storage here just opens up. It's just so nicely designed. Of course, you have several USB ports throughout too. All right, so let's talk about some safety here. Now, this comes with quite a few standard features. You get park distance control, front and rear view camera. Compound 4-wheel ventilated ABS brakes with dynamic brake control, dynamic stability control, including brake fade compensation, start-off assist, and dynamic traction control. Now, this one is also equipped with the Driver Assistance Plus package, extra $1,700 right there. That gives you active blind spot detection, active driving assistant, and side and top view cameras. Now, if you wanted to, now, even though this particular M6 doesn't have it, you can also opt for the carbon ceramic brakes. Now, I don't think everyone needs carbon ceramic brakes, considering, for one thing, they cost an extra $9,250. You're not going to the racetrack more than likely with this thing. This is a Grand Tour. Carbon ceramic brakes are just a pure convenience luxury that I don't think they're necessary. And like I said, this car is expensive enough as is. But like I mentioned, this car came out in 2012, and despite its 2015 update, you can still see some signs of this car's age. For an example, in my unboxing review of the Audi A4, the driver information screen and the cluster there, that is a 12.3-inch LCD screen. Here it's just more of a conventional gauge unit, and we just saw the reveal back in September of the next generation BMW 5 Series sedan, not the M5 just yet, but that is a very impressive and technologically advanced car, and the next generation M6, I very much assume there will be one, is going to ride on that platform, meaning the car is going to be lighter, and it will benefit and inherit all of the new 5 Series technologies. These 20-way power driver seat and front passenger seat too, with the M multi-contour seats, 4-way lumbar support. Just everything is just so comfortable here. I love this color of the interior. It's sort of like a reddish orange color. I wouldn't describe it as just pure red. Again, they call it secure orange. It's like, let's call it a dark orange, but I really like it, especially with that Alpine white exterior. And yeah, the rear seats. Look, they're there. Again, they're probably better for a small child or just some groceries. But look at, just see how the front seat just smacks you in the knees there. It's not very comfortable. But at least they have speakers in the rear seats too, so hey, that's something. But you don't buy this car for the rear seat comfort. Like I said, if you want that, go for the 5 Series or the 6 Series Grand Coupe. But now the trunk space, this is pretty good here. You have 16.2 cubic feet of trunk volume. Again, you're benefiting from the same platform as the 5 Series sedan. So yeah, you're going to get things like a big trunk, and with the split folding rear seats, it just makes the trunk even better. In fact, in many ways, it's just best just to leave the rear seats folded down. Just enjoy the extra trunk space. So how does this thing drive? Well, let me tell you, it is ridiculously fast. I'll get to that in just a moment. Features like launch control lets you your engine achieve maximum acceleration from a standing start, so you can just brandish every pound-feet of torque right off the line. And speaking of torque, what do we have here? This is the twin-turbo 4.4-liter V8. 560 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque. Power goes to the rear wheels through a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, or for no extra cost, a 6-speed manual. Now, a fun fact here, if it weren't for the US and the market demand there would be no manual option. We were told that specifically by BMW last year at Geneva. So if you want a 6-speed manual in this car, no problem. They don't charge you more for it. But look at this engine here. Itself is just a work of art. This is just pure performance. It's the same engine that you get in the M5. But let's give it a listen here, shall we? Yeah, wow. I could really listen to that all day. So, performance, 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.1 seconds. Top speed is electronically limited to 155 miles per hour. But if you go for the M Drivers package, that top speed is increased to 186 miles per hour. So there you go. Oh, and you also get a driver's training course thrown into that package as well. Fuel economy, 14 miles per gallon in the city, 20 on the highway, and a combined 16. Total weight is 4,250 pounds. And yes, of course, the M6 Coupe requires premium fuel. So yeah, this car, it's a big sucker. It weighs an awful lot. 4,250 pounds. That's literally twice the weight of a Mazda MX-5 Miata. Not quite twice, but nearly there. And of course, this is a 2+2 coupe, 2 in the front, 2 in the rear, and it's actually the M6 Coupe. It's 1.2 inches wider than the standard 6 Series Coupe. And it also features the flared wheel arches just to give it a stronger presence. And as you can see, the quad exhaust system there. And I really do like this Alpine white exterior. You don't have to pay extra for this particular exterior paint option. Of course, you can for some of the metallic options. But this one does come with the 20-inch M-Lite alloy wheels for an extra $1,300. The black wheels, there are 19-inch wheels standard, but I would definitely go for the extra $1,300 for the 20-inch wheels. But you also get standard adaptive full LED lights, automatic high beams, and a carbon fiber composite roof. Again, BMW is doing everything they can in order to shave weight, and if that means a carbon fiber roof, then so be it. And I think this design has really held up very well since 2012. I love that long hood and just sort of the presence this thing has. And I think the Alpine white with the black wheels combined with that secure orange leather interior is just a great color combination. So let's talk more about that pricing here. So a base M6 Coupe begins, wait for it, at $113,700. Now, our car with several of the extra packages I told you about, plus a $995 destination fee and a $1,300 gas guzzler fee, grand total for this is $124,410. Now, just to compare, the standard BMW 640i Coupe begins at $77,600. So yeah, this is quite a price increase. Now, remember, this also doesn't have the $8,300 competition package, which gives you that performance upgrade for 40 more horsepower for a grand total of 600 horsepower, plus an enhanced sport suspension and a sport exhaust. Now, the M6 Grand Coupe begins at $117,500. Again, you get 2 extra doors and obviously much more interior or rear seat space. And then the M6 Convertible begins at $120,000. Again, neither of those two I just mentioned have any extra options attached. So what is the competition? Now, I mentioned earlier in the review the Porsche 911. Kind of, yeah. Again, this is a real Grand Tour as opposed to the 911, which is more of a true sports car. I think this car's closest competitor is a Mercedes-AMG SL63, which has a twin-turbo V8, and then the V12-powered SL65. Yeah, both of those are very, very similar to this in terms of being just a 2+2 Grand Tour, and you don't see too many of these on the road anymore. There's also the Aston Martin Vantage and Vanquish. Kind of we're getting into that tour territory here, but I've heard that BMW is considering for the next generation M6 to turn it more into a Porsche 911 fighter. And I can kind of see why. Again, this is a very heavy car. It's pretty big. Oh, wow. Check out that carbon fiber roof there. That is nice. But back to that, it's a big car, over 4,000 pounds. I mean, the market for this is kind of, it's small, but man, they're still selling these things relatively well. So what do I like here? Well, it's just an unapologetic luxury high-performance Grand Tour with 560 horsepower. It's extremely fast, and yeah, I think this is kind of sexier than the M5, especially the M6 Grand Coupe. Also, you can get the available 6-speed manual transmission, no extra cost. And yes, it does handle extremely well considering its size and weight and just the overall quality inside and out. Now, what don't I like? Again, that rear seat space is very tight. This car, it's quite heavy, and the extra features, as I've explained to you, such as $300 for Apple CarPlay compatibility, $300 right there. The extra features just add up really, really fast. For an example, stainless steel pedals, $260. A BMW iPad holder, $185. A head-up display, $1,300. Even a carbon fiber rear spoiler is $1,020. So the BMW M6 Coupe, yeah, this is, I don't know if we're going to see more of these anymore. I think they're going to downsize for the next generation. So if you want one and you've got at least $113,000 to spare, go off and get it. But I'm out of time for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. Any more questions for me, just leave them in the comments section below, and I'll see you on my next unboxing review.